Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today we're going to be taking a look at MTV MultiVac to see what's been going on with the price action. We have seen a pretty significant push here with MultiVac in the last few hours, so we're going to get into the technical analysis here to see exactly what to expect next. They are going to start things with MultiVac here on the weekly chart. There's a few things we need to discuss so we can prepare ourselves for where we are heading in the next few weeks to months. Now obviously when it comes to MultiVac, it is relatively new. Well, it's been around for a while, but mainnet's only just really launched, and the staking element has also only just launched, and it is doing very, very well. We've seen the 2 billion target from a staking perspective already get hit, and there is a 3 billion target now up there, and that is well on the way to getting accomplished as well. So obviously some fantastic things fundamentally that have been going on, but on this weekly chart we obviously have to acknowledge this a fantastic run to the upside that we've had over here. This really kind of started down at this lower end at the beginning of the year around February. We saw that we were oversold and we pushed right up into this overbought area as we peaked up to 1.8 cent during that time. This kind of comes in around April before we went into this kind of correction wave that Bitcoin had. Bitcoin basically pulled the entire market down. Money was flooding out of some of these micro cap coins like MTV here, 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗠𝗘, DSLA, to name a few, right? And as a result of that, there were some absolute fantastic purchasing opportunities during this dip. I myself took advantage of this, as did Chris, and we have got a pretty significant position on MTV. And this is definitely something that we want to be obviously paying attention to, because every cent actually makes a huge difference to your portfolios, specifically when you're talking about owning multi-millions of a specific coin. And obviously we can see, if I just get rid of those for a second, we can see that we were oversold during this correction when we got to the nice bottom area there. And again, if you're following or a member of the channel and following MTV, you'll know that there was a good accumulation zone that we were paying attention to down here. This was oversold, and basically you're working into this buy zone for quite some time, and you could just basically just keep building up a pretty good position. Likewise, you can take advantage of obviously the dips, and you can buy the fear that is up for sale, and basically dollar cost average a much better position. So overall, MultiVac has been performing very well since the low area here, and we started to see a nice rise in our stochastic RSI from the oversold area back up to the overbought area, and we are now fighting the 786 area of the Fibonacci. There's been some fantastic news that's come out today, obviously with a partnership that has now obviously spurred on another price push. Currently at the point of recording this video we're 1.5 cent, so a significant push has been made from where we were buying it all the way down here. And if you were an early adopter of this project, you may have been able to absolutely get a freaking steal where it was basically 0.0003 of a cent down here. So this would have been a fantastic opportunity. And of course, you're in a lot of profit by now. And again, we are looking at another 520% or so is what I anticipate before we actually finish this bull run, before we go into a bear market. This would take, 𝗖𝗢𝗪𝗓 up to about 9.2 cent. Now, again, this is just based on the technicals that we have available here inside the chart. Of course, if we actually have some pretty good solid marketing, some good partnerships that we've seen today, for example, and we start to see some decent traction, then I think, this could potentially surge much higher than what the technicals are currently indicating. So we could potentially see, upwards of 30 cent or more. And I do think that would be something that is very possible based on some good marketing. So if there is some marketing that gets done here for MultiVac and they actually get some stuff across the line, some new partnerships, maybe they get listed on a new exchange that has a lot more adoption capabilities to it, then we could potentially see some serious money flood into this project. And on that note, it would not take a lot of money to actually make the needle move here when it comes to MultiVac. I think there are only like 3 billion coins, and therefore it wouldn't take a lot of money at all to start seeing this thing edge up those decent levels, right? When we talk about 30 cent, you'll need less than $1 billion to really kind of get to that threshold. And again, you wouldn't even need all of that money to actually flow in. It would take a fraction of that to flow into the project, considering so much of it is actually already delegated and staked and is out of circulating supply. This particular project could surge massively in the second half of this year. As we close Q3, go into Q4, MultiVac has the potential to literally just change people's lives. At least in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, but I am obviously a whale when it comes to MultiVac, as is Chris, and I do think that this project has such serious capabilities to really change the world for the better, not only from an investment point of view, but also from a technology point of view as well. So lots going on with MultiVac and MTV. So obviously just wanted to kind of call out what's seen here on this weekly chart. Let's jump down into our daily, because this is where we start to see a little bit more of the clarity, right? We can see that we're actually down in the oversold area, just moving back up now as we started to see this price surge above the 786. This is the area that we need to get a closed candle, preferably weekly. So we're looking for a closed candle on Sunday above 1.5 cent. Getting that 1.5 closed candle on Sunday evening ahead of next week is going to be a big bull signal for price discovery as we go after the all-time high, which actually comes in, I think it's 2 point something cent. Let me just find it on here. Yeah, 2.19 cent. Okay, so as we go for this high here, which was actually just short of the all-time high, once we go after the all-time high, that's really like going to be sending this thing to the next level. So again, all of these kind of Fibonacci retracement extension levels, the 1.618, 2.618, 3.618, the 4.236, these are all great levels. But again, like I said, I think if we go to see some good traction behind it, I don't think it's going to take all that much money to actually go in ahead and just wipe these out completely, and to start see very, very good traction here for MultiVac. So right now we're at this key point, this pivotal point for MultiVac, where we want to see the closed candle on Sunday night, basically up here. This will be a big bull signal for us as we go after 1.859, taking that out and then going after, of course, the 2.8 cent area. That's the first target that we have kind of scoped out here for MultiVac. So lots of progress has been made today, a lot more progress still to come, but again, very exciting times here for MultiVac. Here down at the bottom you can see the accumulation zone. This is the area that we were talking about accumulating decent levels. I mean, you're talking millions of MultiVac at this particular point. Otherwise, you're just dollar cost averaging during these dip scenarios, basically just building a better position. But when it comes to massive amount of accumulation, you want to make sure you get a good steal, a good price, and that's what this accumulation zone was down at the bottom there. So overall, everything's looking pretty good. We are obviously looking to get that closed candle and progress up to 2.8 cent here on the daily. Loads of potential here with the fact that we are pushing up from an oversold area. Now, when we jump down to the hourly, on the other hand, we get a different narrative, because the surge to the upside has obviously taken us from the lower end of the 618, passing through the 702 after a brief pullback in the middle there, now going above the 786, retesting this area. We're going to hold this. If we can hold it, that would be fantastic, but we do need to see the loss of momentum overall on the stochastic RSI. So again, we are looking to pull back here on our stochastic, get back into this oversold area, and before going back to the upside. Okay, so what we're looking for here is a loss of momentum. We can see that there was good volume coming in. We want to see that volume come out. We want to see the volume continue to drop and go sideways whilst we correct this down, and then once that happens, we want to basically build the volume back up. So that will allow us to basically trade sideways and then take the next step. What we can do is we can take a look at what's happened previously for MultiVac to use it as a bit of an example. Now, some of these were actually much steeper, but this is a good example here, a good surge to the upside, sideways trade, surge to the upside. And if you can take these kind of step approach, then you're going to be doing okay. What you don't want to do is have too much of a push to the upside. Profits are then taken when you're rejected from a key area like the 702. Then you go back down right pretty much to where you were previously. What you want is a nice steady kind of flow pushing to the upside and then continue to trade sideways. So when we take a look at where we were during this wave here, we actually had that decent kind of loss of momentum over time. We see the volume come up, come back down, volume comes up, comes back down, goes up, comes back down. And that's what you need if you want to be stable in our way of approaching this. So we are looking to bring our stochastic back down to the oversold area in the same way that we were just beforehand. So we had this pullback here. This took us into this oversold area before we surged to the upside there. So what we're looking for is a pullback or a sideways trade, I should say, around this 786 area. Hopefully this will happen in the next kind of 24 hours. Ahead of Sunday, and then we get that good surge to the upside on Sunday. That would allow us to protect this this price area that we are currently associated with on the Sunday, and get that closed weekly candle that we need up here for the big bull signal that will then be taking us to that next level as we go ahead and basically take out the 1.8 area ahead of 2.8. So lots of fantastic things on the horizon here. I did want to give a brief update on MultiVac considering the price action that it has been having most recently. So guys, hopefully you have found this video useful and informative. If you have, then do hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then do subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here. And with that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.